Chat, here we go. It's Atow versus Nass. It's a more warm-up for RLCS 1v1 this weekend. It is the guy who is probably everybody's #1 seed against Mr. Atow. Oh my goodness, Nass launching a flick to open up the game. Nass did not drop a single game on his way to qualifying for the top 16. An absolutely insane run by him. Something that I'm not sure anyone else was able to replicate. And something about Tournament Nass seems to be built different. He did play a recent Showmatch. Nice pogo from Atow. It's not often we get an Atow Showmatch session without at least one pogo. And here he's going to get a cheeky one to bounce it over the top of Nass. That pogo completely wiped my brain. I had some train of thought before, but I saw the pogo and everything got erased. Oh, I think I was talking about Nass and the fact that he's built different when it comes to tournaments. He did have a recent match that did not go his way against Drally, although a lot of people would potentially have Nass and Drally maybe as a grand final type matchup here in RLCS 1s. But even when he loses matches here and there in tournaments, in long series, he seems to always figure it out. And he's going to tap this one up to the ceiling before getting the clean recovery and putting on his first goal. Atow gonna chip this one away and get himself a third as Nass goes flying past the play. Yo, CR7 the man, maybe that 11 months of Prime. Keeping the hype train going. I just thought about something that we could potentially add to show matches in the future. We're going to add it for sure whenever we're doing sponsored streams. But I'm thinking about giving it a test right now, so I'm actually working to pull it up. See if you guys like it. Just give me a brief moment here. Waiting angry? No. You're going to be okay. Trust me, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Atow gonna get a takeaway to make it 4-1. Just played a match against apparently Jack. I'd recommend going back and watching that if you haven't. Playing again here against Nass. Let me see here. Where is it? Okay. You guys can now quick chat as well. Where should I put your quick chat? I'm gonna put it right here. The Twitch chat can quick chat. Not just the players. Chig Bungo. Thank you for the 43 months, tier 1. That's a huge time sub. And sites for RLCS 1s. I think we are as well. That's why we got ourselves these warm-up matches here. Atow, another pogo attempt. This time, Nass not challenging in that moment, so it's not going to work as cleanly. So to give you guys a preview of what it'll be in the future, I would just drop it right here. And then your regular chats would disappear. And look, instead, you guys just quick chat. And I tell you what, there's probably a lot of YouTube viewers who wishes this is how it was all the time, so they didn't have to read some of your guys' messages. I personally love all your messages. But now you can just quick chat. Flick from Nass to get a third. Atow faked a challenge that did not phase Mr. Nass. Power shot top shelf. Nass sends it high, able to make the save and keep a ton of boost. Did he get this counterattack shot? My goodness, from Nass. This is the kind of defense that wins championships. As he pops what was a really strong shot up high, gets a perfect landing on the back wall, chains a couple dashes, and next thing you know, power shot is into the bottom left. Atow at ceiling heights. This is the wave dash. Or maybe he didn't want to go for it. Decided against it as he resets back to the corner here. These two pinching the ball away. Huge camera look from Atow to see what Nass is up to. First touch bounce, goes top right. And a lead for Atow. You guys seem to have a lot more fun quick chatting than regular chatting. Everybody is now doing as many quick chats as they can. Atow thought about pinching this one away, but recognizing that he has a 1-goal lead, decided instead to try and bait Nass in after the pinch. And it might not be paying off for him. Nass could not connect on the bump, but we'll take it to the side wall. Pre-flip out. Can he 50 this one? No. Couldn't protect it. Atow able to steal it away clean. 10 seconds left to go. Atow going to play a bit of keep away. He's not even trying to score. Normally in a situation like that, you could not rush in that fast because you'd cut away your angle at the net. Atow doesn't care about his angle at the net. But what he did just do is deliver the ball right to his own goal line for Nass. Sure, you play keep away, but Nass chases him down and then just chips it in. I mean, it took him one touch. The last 20 were all by Atow to bring the ball over there. And now with 1 second left to go, delay kickoff from Atow. This one gonna hit the ground. OT. Atow not gonna go to the kickoff at all. Nass is still gonna attack straight down center field. Did cost him a bit of boost. Heavy advantage for Atow now. Can he convert on it? As he plays from ceiling height, Nass, very little boost. Makes the save. Should not really have enough to counterattack this cleanly, but is gonna put up a fight here. Bouncing the ball high. Atow able to make that read. Awkward save to clear it away, but he does. Still no boost for Nass as Atow steals it away. Nass trying to bump Atow out of position. What a save from Nass. The defense that he's been able to play with absolutely no boost has been quite impressive. Atow's going to bring the ball in front of his net again. This time he's much more in control than last time. Has a reset near ceiling height. I don't even see Nass. I don't know where he went. Turns out he went into the opposite corner. And he's not going to be able to dive across to make the save this time. Atow, nice use of the resets. And we'll take the game 1 lead against Mr. Nass. As chat pointed out, this is the first 1v1 game loss Nass has had in a while, as he didn't even lose a game in qualification for the tournament. What was Nass's toughest game? Now, don't get me wrong, it's very possible to lose games at any point during the tournament. But who are we most impressed that he swept? Pulling up the bracket right now. Oh, Jorias. Jorias was his round 3 of the Swiss matchup that he was able to 3-0. And then I do think we would be predicting 3-0s against any other of the players that he played throughout the bracket. But he did the work of setting himself up a prime bracket, and he executed on it. Now Atow out of the back corner This is another matchup that I think people would not be surprised to see as a grand final matchup here in EU1s. Jory has had close games but lost every game. I think that is actually how I would describe a lot of the matchups that Nass has. Doesn't seem like he's prone to completely blowing out his fellow top players. But at the end of the day, at the end of the series, who's always at the top seems to be Mr. Nass. At least that's how it's been recently. Atow able to win game 1 of this series. But I'm sure Nass and Atow both using today as just a way to prep and warm up for what is probably the biggest RLCS tournaments, or sorry, the biggest 1v1 tournament, not the biggest RLCS tournament. Or if you're a 1v1 fan, maybe you would say it's the biggest RLCS tournament ever. But I think you've got to be pretty biased for that. Definitely the biggest ones tournament. The quick chat window is not a way to punish you guys. It's just a way to give you a subset of things you can say. Such that I don't have to worry about you guys. But right now you're free. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, to some extent, you will still get banned. You're not completely free. Atow, look at the shot on this setup. Tried to fake the wave dash at the end. That was probably his only way to get the angle. But Nass still connects with the ball. Now Nass trying to steal away possession. Will land on very little boost. He tried to immediately jump and dash himself to the side wall to avoid getting demoed. Kind of missed the dash because of it, but still back to make the save. These guys playing Ring Around the Rosie as it's gone clockwise around the map a few times now. Atow gonna cut that out as he takes it down center field. And look at that last bit of boost. Nass knows that Atow is a pest when it comes to bumps and catches. I'm not talking about catching the ball. I'm talking about catching the opponents. And he's done a great job at avoiding it, but Atow is also good at shots like this. And he's going to get himself a nice reset into flick to send it over the top of Nass. Give himself a 1-goal lead. Nass popping this one high up to himself and immediately booming the long shot. Maybe felt like he couldn't get a dribble going out of there. Atow certainly prepared for even a powerful shot like that. Nass covers every corner. I mean, we've seen this mistake from so many different defenders where they start to prep across the net, leave that bottom right corner open, or that near post corner open. Nass does not. Make sure he's still within range to backflip, but this is a great fake from Atow. Atow has been really interested in faking in close proximity right now. And after he gets Nass to jump, lands back down and uses the wave dash to cut it back in field. It's not easy to fake that close to the net. Because oftentimes, even if you do get, you know, faked out, because there's such tight angles to score in, you end up still getting some sort of touch, making it clear like you need to. Atow at times has had to pull the ball away from the net, basically, in order to make sure that doesn't happen and still convert on his fakes. That's a great save. Zap dash recovery out of the net. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get a clean shot here. Nass will get back. But he forces him into the net, and now looking for boost steals left and right. Has all the hundreds on the map, it would seem. Now, can he go the distance? Doesn't want to. He's going to bring it back down to the ground. Nass, not on enough boost to feel confident. Pressuring him there is going to allow him. Oh, he tried to go for a pogo behind the ball. We haven't seen those very often in ones recently. Atow loves his pogo shots. But he will steal this one away. Atow going to make it 5-3. Atow after losing the kickoff, trying to bump Nass off the ball. Pinch attempts. Will just hand control to Mr. Nass, who absolutely needs to score here to keep himself in this one. Heavy first touch. Atow pre-jumped it and immediately pointed backwards to try and prevent Nass from going over the top. Wasn't able to connect with the ball, but definitely affected Nass and what he was doing there. Not able to stop that one. Mistake from Atow as he allows the power shot. Decided, wait a second, maybe I don't want to slam this ball into the wall with his max boost. Decided instead to try and bring it down to the ground, but that ended up being a mistake as well. It just allows Nass to boom it in the nets with no defense. 20 seconds left to go. Nass going to pick up the 100. Should be able to get it clear here. It's just whether or not he wants to try and take it to the ground and possess it. He did a fairly decent job. What a first touch to bring this one back on target from Nass. Oh my goodness. This first touch is insane. I thought he was out past the ball. The way he's able to roll around and chip it back the direction he wants it to go and then carries it cleanly to the net. That was an insane level of control from Mr. Nass. And he's tied the game up 5-5. Atow not going to the kickoff. Nass recognized it a bit late, but at least he did recognize it as he goes low 50, picks up the 100. Atow wants to drop this straight to the ground and will. OT, diagonal kickoff. Will Atow backflip again? No, this time he goes to the kickoff. It's a wave dash from both these guys. Big win for Atow. Sidewall dribble. Takes it to ceiling height. Nass looking at the ceiling challenge, and he does. Intercepts it. Does he have a long shot? He should be able to. Can Atow get back to this one? He won't. Nass will equalize. An insane 0-second air dribble to send it to OT. And a way easier said than done ceiling challenge in order to take the ball away from Atow after a clean win on the kickoff is going to make it 1-1. Game number 3. Nass into the currently meta decal. After his win in the Octane, he's going right back to the Fennec. And he has had very clean flicks. Swirl's in charge. 80 months of tier 1. You lost this round? Yeah, you're talking about with Ryan? I think Ryan Lacey might have subbed yesterday, so I think you maybe did lose this round. As Nass able to play keep away here with Atow. Atow wants a soft touch for an angle. Nass forces him up into the air and then intercepts. Nass has had great ceiling challenges. The ceiling challenge game has risen a ton in the last months and year of 1v1, and it has led to a lot of air dribbles being taken much lower to the ground in order to just keep it away from every surface that makes it easier to challenge. Atow might have to start thinking about doing that. But Nass is such a good defender from any position. I'm sure he'll be quickly convincing you to go back high after you fail a few attempts low. Nass, reset. He just continues to fake. He doesn't actually shoot the ball. There are so many different things being threatened this entire dribble. It may seem like Atow's sitting there doing nothing, but he's prepping for what he thought was going to be a shot on that near post. But again, Nass reading defenders to perfection. That's always what I've talked about with him. His ability to react on offense is what makes him so great. He had a tough time against Drowley doing just that. Doesn't seem like he's suffering against anybody else in the ones game right now when it comes to reading and adjusting. Being willing to change his attack to whatever is the right answer and not being stuck on one decision. Nass to the skies now. Gonna go for a dunk and couldn't keep it low enough as Atow gets it to bounce up and over the top of the net. Nass just swinging through to force Atow to try and dispossess, but Atow has 9. He's going to go for a bump. Nass can't get the save. It did have orange trail, so we got a little bit of touch. We watched it from his POV. Just one touch from Atow before he got out ahead of the ball. And he's on the board here in game number 3. People are asking if it's RLCS. I'm going to put 1v1 Showmatch in the title. I only didn't do that because it's normally just what we're running here is 1v1 Showmatches. But I'll remind everybody, it is a 1v1 Showmatch. RLCS 1's Friday. Atow. Big clear and a double. I've not really seen somebody score all the way from the back wall in this way. Atow takes it to the ceiling, then one touches it down to the ground and waits for it to bounce off the backboard before doubling it in. Will ones be on the main broadcast? Yes. Moxie, but not the one that everyone who just listened to me say that is thinking of. Atow, another kickoff in his favor to make it 5-2. Nass trying to delay his wave dash. Atow often likes to delay it as well, but getting muscled through by the player from Karmine Corps. Nass recognized the half flip. He hasn't really recognized it early enough to do much about it. Does recover to cut off any angle and actually is looking at an open net. Did he miss it? He did! He says yes in the quick chat, as he knows he absolutely should have had that. Atow had a couple of those in his previous series. As Nass respawns right here directly in the play, as close as possible, which is probably ideal for him. That's good respawn mechs. Now taking to the skies with Atow directly underneath him. Nass fakes. Atow goes flying past, and Nass gets a third. No point in adding Feer. The live is also pre-recorded right now. He's sitting on his couch eating his prep meal. He always sponsors on his channel. Please don't believe the mods. I know you'd think that the moderators can be trusted, but I hate to say it, but not even them can be trusted. Nass with an ideal bounce off the side wall. And then a catch and cuts. More perfect reads of the defender, leading to a goal. As Atow prepping for something high. Atow trying to fake like he's going to touch that towards the wall. See if he can get Nass to leave. But instead, Nass stuck around and used his little boost to long shot it away. What a save from Nass. Is he going to actually win this race back to the ball? He will, but it's not going to matter because the ball has gone deep enough into the corner that he won't be able to get a goal from it. With a minute 30 left to go, he seems like a decent position. Atow will get a clear, sure, but he does not have boost. He's eventually going to have to relinquish clean control, which is what Nass has right now as he goes to the ceiling. Can he get the double? No! That was insane control. If he could finish it off with the impossible angle, it'd be unbelievable. Atow flipping around before dashing to put this one on target. Can he get this angle? No. Minute left to go. Demo might just secure the game. This time the respawn from Nass, not going to cut it. Atow let it slow roll in. 3 goals, 50 seconds. Not impossible. Not going to be easy. Nass taking one directly to the net off of the complete half flip from Atow. Again, that pays off in Atow's favor. The half flip kickoffs have been going perfectly for him. Going for a ceiling pinch now. Nass still somehow makes that read. Problem is, he needs more than just defense. Trying to muscle his way through. Again, Atow cuts it across the net, almost assisting Nass. But Nass bumped away before getting a demo. Has to cut it back on target now. 2 goals, 15 seconds. Will we see any mix-up? Is it going to be a half flip? Yeah, it's going to be a half flip from Atow again. I think this time Nass knew that that was coming. Goes for the air dribble bump. Not a bad way to execute. I mean, he cannot take it back to his corner. It would just take too long, needing 2 goals. But I think Nass that time fully expected it, prepped for it, made sure he had at least enough boost to get a pretty solid double jump bump. Just didn't pay off for him. So Atow going to take game number 3. Nass playing from behind. He hadn't lost a game in a week or so. So Atow's certainly giving him a nice test before the RCS1 start. These guys are just trading psychos back and forth. Nass missed his, so he says sorry. Okay, how are we going to set up one? Okay, Atow's going again. Here's his psycho. Oh, big miss. Game number 3. Going to go to Atow. Game number 4. Atow and Nass. Fear, your Rocket League content is nothing short of spectacular. Your videos showcase an extraordinary blend of jaw. This has got to be AI. But again, it's positive AI in my favor, so I appreciate that. Nass will be the first to score. I can't hide the script any longer. Well, I'm hoping for game 5, assuming these guys follow the script I gave them. Atow reset at around ceiling heights. Great wave dash cuts. Nass maybe thinking about the ceiling challenge for a moment. You know, Atow did still take the ball fairly high. I think Nass just got there a little bit late. I was talking about earlier, maybe Atow should avoid trying to take dribbles as high up as he has been, but this time he's safe to do so, with Nass not in a position to challenge early. Oh, what a save from Atow. Able to 50 it off the near post, or sorry, the far post now. To ceiling height, has a reset, flicks it over the top and passes the ball to Nass for what should be, actually, yeah, it should be free. For a second, because it was so far out and Nass had to wait for the ball, I thought maybe there's a world in which Atow makes it back. But there is not. It is going to be a goal for Nass. Nass double jumping directly into an air dribble and just got pull shot into a save by Atow. But it was a pretty clean first touch dribble there from Nass. Oftentimes you see players needing to kind of collect the ball for a second and then jumping up, but Nass just using that first touch collection as the start of the air dribble. And even though he gets bumped into saving his own shot, he does end up fighting for it back. It's up 3-1. I think Atow's half flip kickoff works a little bit better. That's another ceiling challenge from Nass. Atow bringing the ball too high, making it not too difficult for Nass to do these. But I think his half flip kickoffs work off better when he's in the lead. You know, imagining Atow going for them right now, I don't think Nass feels the same kind of pressure to bring the ball to him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him to do more cuts back into his own half and just kind of waste a bit of time. But they were accentuated by the fact that Nass needed a goal, so he felt obligated to try and find something. Atow's gonna win a low 50 deep in his own corner before taking it out for his second goal. This is another. Oh, this is that wave dash kickoff from Atow. Nass trying to power it through standard. Gets himself scored on. Here are the half flip kickoffs. This time at a tie game instead of the lead. And it's going to work out fairly well for him. He's got himself possession. Double reset shot. Nass up off the backboard. Essentially, we'll count that as a save. I feel like he has really demanded so much respect defensively that Atow not willing to try and get it past him there instead. cutting it away, and now taking him for a 4-3 lead as he steals away the ball at the midfield. Atow trying to close out the series. Up 1 halfway. Atow. Dribble from the back wall. This time doesn't have to worry about the ceiling challenge with Nass directly underneath him. Gets the reset. Could not protect the play, as it seemed like he fell in front of the ball. Was maybe looking for a demo, or was going to need something like that, because what he had was not it. Directly underneath it, just popping the ball up, allowing Nass the clean takeaway. He can either go back behind it and protect it a little bit more, try and 50 it in, or he can go out ahead of it a little bit more, try and bump Nass, throw him off, but staying perfectly in sync with the ball. Just allows a really easy read from Nass, and it allows his takeaway touch to have no resistance. Just send it soaring into the other half. Nass now another kickoff win. Got him into the lead. He's going to try and score again. Atow misses through the air, but Nass also misses as he puts this one off target. I was talking to the RLCS guys, wondering if they're going to be doing ball cam on at all times for RLCS 1s, as Nass air dribbles for a 6. He just takes it straight at the net. I want to watch this again from Atow's POV. Was he... I mean, just reacted a little bit too late, ultimately. Because Atow is one of the more interesting ball cam users. Now, when you watch from director POV, like the RLCS 1s may be, we'll have to see. It makes everybody look like they play like Atow. There'll be awkward dribbles that they seem to keep ball cam on for. But when we watch player POV, like we always do in these show matches, you can see, you know, Atow is actually unique. He's the only one who's actually doing that. It's not just because director cam is making it seem that way. As Nass wants a bump, doesn't get it. Atow gets around it. But still a 2-goal lead for Mr. Nass. Atow, low 50. Trying to half flip out to the midfield. Has himself a wall to air dribble. Nass thought about the ceiling challenge again. Atow didn't quite take it as high, and will instead bring it down to the ground for the wave dash shots. Great play there from Atow. Just one to make up. Big kickoff win. We saw Nass lose a kickoff earlier by going for the standard, trying to flip it left. And Atow wave dashing got the win. This time, though, I think it has more to do with Atow's kickoff. I have to go back and watch again what he was hoping for, but it wasn't a wave dash. And he was wayside on the ball. Playing into Nass's hands. Now 53 seconds. There's that wave dash recovery from Atow. Prioritizing not getting immediately scored on, although he's the one who needs a bit of chaos now. Bounce dribble. Opposite side of the net, looking fairly open, but he actually waited too long. He maybe wanted to fake Nass out, and then the shot that he did get was quite simple. Nass had it covered. Atow says next. So we will go to game 5, just like the script insisted we would, between Atow and Nass. Go Champions Field? Sure. Game 5 on Champions Field. Nass, with a great recommendation, maybe wants to get used to what he'll probably have to do here in RLCS. I'm imagining the same RLCS map rotation for the longest time. I think mostly because, you know, Johnny's been running matches, or I've been running matches. I feel like it's easier to just pick a good map and then not have to deal with it, which has led to Manfield Nights being the 1v1 match, or the 1v1 map for basically every 1v1 match almost ever. I doubt that that's how it's going to be working in RLCS 1s. I'm assuming they're going to go through a similar map rotation to what RLCS does. Atow too strong on his reset shot. Going to play as a pass for Nass. So Nass has decided, put me on Champions Field. I'm going to have to win potentially some games on Champions Field later this weekend. Why not get used to it now? Nass off the ceiling, trying to pre-flip underneath it. Actually managed to get back to the ball. to make it seem like there may be something he could get out of it, but ultimately does get demoed. It's a 2-1 lead for Nass, or sorry, for Atow. Nass. Bounce dribble into power shots. This is the kind of play that just never goes out of style, even at the highest level. Atow, a couple pads to work with, decides to challenge. Even just that much of a cut will make him miss. Spam this to help out nah. Oh my goodness. Do we have the best Twitch chat? There is. The main channel stands nothing against this squad's ability to spam. Nass keeping ball cam on as well as he starts this air dribble. Chip up high. Nass thinking about the boost grab. Slightly worried about whether or not he's leaving the net open if he does, but he seemed to cover it just well enough. As Atow will fully reset. Chip infield, Nass directly underneath him. Atow, heavy couple touches on his air dribble to make it hard to make any adjustments when you have to use all your boost to just catch back up to the ball. Atow going quick. Upo-esque type play like we saw him do earlier, where it seemed like the only thing that mattered is just staying high speed and figuring it out later. He's continued to starve out defenders and eventually get goals. This time he throws one directly at Nass, which doesn't seem like necessarily the best play, but he still has Nass low on boost, and he even baited him all the way out to the midfield. Air dribble pump, and Atow will take his lead. Atow dancing behind the ball before Nass gets credited with a save by the in-game commentator. Atow taking up to the skies. Nass has pre-jumped it, immediately pulling away from the ball. Doing what I like to call a passive pre-jump. Can be tough to do these successfully. Nass does get the first touch. Isn't in the worst of positions, but expects Atow not to shoot there and keep the dribble going. Instead, Atow cuts it around and big kickoff win to the left. Nass has gotten a few direct kickoff goals. What a touch. This skim is not easy. If we go back to the kickoff again and watch from Atow's POV, he's trying his wave dash kickoff, but he's not really getting well enough around the ball. And that is, yeah, not an easy touch. And Atow's even going to be willing to drop him the nice one there. Nass, backflip challenge, is able to steal the ball away, make it 4-4. Atow tried to get a clean dunk on the first one, was up high above the ball with no boost left over, wanted to follow it up with a much lower type 50, something that keeps his wheels near the ground and allows him to make a follow-up play if he needs to. And Nass uses that as an opportunity to go up over the top of him. Atow does not head to the kickoff, makes the save that he is forcing himself to make when he goes for those. Now Nass on an air dribble, reset shot is in. A sensational goal as Atow picks up the midfield 100. Thinking about the challenge, ultimately elects to shadow and thought maybe Nass was going back down to the ground there. So many mind games in the 1v1 game nowadays. So many ways that these dribbles can finish. You have to try and be 2 or 3 steps ahead to survive. Atow double jump bump. Nass somehow gets contact with the ball, or maybe forced Atow into it to kill it on the goal line, and then recovers fast enough to make the save. Atow keeping his air dribbles low now. Does not let Nass challenge him at ceiling height. I think that is a great adjustment that he's made based on the way Nass has been playing. Nass recovers to make a save. Can he get the follow-up one? No. Atow will equalize. But this is the exact adjustment we were talking about. Nass had been stealing away possessions off the ceiling. As soon as you do like even an awkwardly low dribble, it ends up being actually a great counter, because Nass, who was prepping for it by going up to ceiling height, now has to recover all the way back down to the ground and try and reposition. It's just playing from behind at that point, and Atow finds a way to get a 50 and a goal. Nice save from Atow. 114, a minute 14 left to go, as this save converts for a goal. Diagonal kickoffs have been solid for Nass. This time both of them going wave dash. Nass with 16 boosts, trying to make something happen, and I think he did. Atow got the midfield 100 and decided to backflip challenge in that moment. Nass able to chip it around. At that point, he's staring at an open net. Minute and 1 second. 6-6 here on Champions Field. Single jump wave dash. Nass cannot immediately score. Did he get bumped by Atow in order to single jump over the top? And now Atow looking at open net. We saw Nass score a tough angle here earlier, but that time the ball was up in the air. This time it's on the ground, and I think Atow forced him to miss. So Atow is the one with the lead. Delay wave dash from Nass. Is he going to try and chip it on target? No, he'll just first touch towards net and wait to try and see if he can break Atow down. He has always been one of the best at doing that, and he does. The level of control that you have to be so comfortable here around the nets. Nass just single jumps to pop it over the top of Atow's pre-jump, and is quicker on the recovery to make it 7-7. Atow controlling into his back corner. Nass has the resets and actually throws it directly at Atow. Big mistake here in a close game. Needs to be a little bit safer in his offense. I mean, you got to credit Atow, but if you look at Atow's setup on the side wall, you'll see that Nass took it down and essentially put it right where he had to do the least amount of movement possible. Not normally what Nass is doing when given those chances on offense. Normally he's making it as hard as possible. Nass picking up the horn. Oh, he did not pick up the 100. Atow's actually bringing it into the corner. This is going to be really nice for Nass. After what seemed like a big mistake, he basically had an ideal situation handed to him. His opponent on very little boost and him on 100. This ball in the air at 0 seconds. Atow trying not to make a mistake. He fakes it here and taps it to the ground. A close series, but it's going to go the way of Atow. In Game 5, Nass hadn't lost a game in a week, but this time he'll lose 3 and not take the series. DSC 9341, thank you for the brand new Tier 1.